Welcome back, Maniacs, doing another reaction for Sam and Colby, and this, of course, is the Patreon voted, most popular voted video. So it is Sam and Colby almost died, apparently, with footage, and I don't know necessarily what they mean by that. They could be over-exaggerating. I don't know what happened, so we're going to find out, and I'll give you guys my personal opinions after the video, and probably even during it, because I'll pause it every once in a while. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for the new channel, share the content. We post a lot. If you guys want to support us even farther, even take part on some of these polls to help us decide future content, please head on over to Patreon, link in the description. We have a link tree now, which makes it easier to find where we are on every social media platform. Okay, here we go.
Someone came full on sprinting. He was pointing a weapon straight at our chests.
I see this guy take his head and literally shove it against the fence.
We would be dead and we would have no one to blame but ourselves.
Right.
That's a hell of a start, I have to admit. Okay, wow. So, okay, I'm going to read what the disclaimer. We take full responsibility for the events that we are about to explain. The only purpose for this video is to spread awareness and help others learn from our almost deadly mistake. My guess is what probably happened, since they're blaming themselves already, is that they were, well, if you guys know, Sam and Colby sometimes go on private property, and I'm assuming they went on someone's private property and the guy had a weapon pointed at him, saying, probably asking, "What the hell are you doing here?" And they, with every single right, could have shot them, and there would have been nothing they could have done about it because they were on private property. That is why, to me, that's not even. Here's the thing: that's not even, to me, that's not really even something you need to spread. That is just that's just pretty much common sense. You don't go on people's private property, no matter how cool it is, no matter how many views you can get. You have a big chance of getting shot. Now, I don't know if that is what happened, so let's go ahead and continue and find out. I'm sorry, I just wanted to get my opinion out there before we get started with this. It sounds like that's where it's headed.
Today is not going to be a regular Sam and Colby 2.0 video, so if you came expecting the content that we have been posting on a weekly basis, then sorry, this is not going to be it. The reason for that is we haven't really been feeling ourselves recently because, you know, we've been doing a lot of these videos and a lot of them are pretty, like, crazy. I mean, like we said, it's like the scariest or craziest night every single week. We get made fun of for that because we say it, and at the end of the day, believe it or not, like, these things do kind of like carry a weight with them, just kind of making us feel not really into it. So until we get back in that headspace of wanting to do those types of videos, like putting ourselves out there, we're gonna hold off.
Personally, it hasn't really affected me too much. Like, I've still been fine. Like, I've still been able to hang out with friends, have good times and stuff like that. I think it's hit you a little bit harder. Like, I know I've seen you like tweet, like say like Instagram stories about how it's been affecting you, because like we capture everything on camera. You see what we experience, and that's scary, especially when you're, imagine you go to the Queen Mary and then the next night you're laying in bed and you hear something in your room. It like messes you up.
We first saw it when you guys all told us on the comments that I was acting super weird on the Queen Mary night.
Sorry, I want to read these. Sam's a bit off, like even Colby was telling him to chill. Sam felt strangely off in the video, like when he was persistent on talking of the Ouija board, almost too excited about it. Honestly, I feel like Sam was acting kind of weird in this video. Everybody's kind of saying he's acting weird, but he's okay. Love you guys.
And that's, I think, because I really didn't want to do that. I don't know, I think I was just kind of forcing it and just going into that and like forcing a video, and then all that extra stuff happening just kind of made me be like, okay, wait. We probably shouldn't do this every single
day. Right. Like when a camera's on, we're really focused on making a video. So during the Queen Mary, when Sam's like trying to get us to
You're just into it. Yeah, I get it.
For example, like knock on the door and stuff like that. It's honestly just for the video, but at the same time, it's like scary and messes you up.
But with that being said, a lot of horrible, scary things have happened to us in the past, and as you can tell,
I just noticed Colby's shirt in this video. It's Justin Bieber. Man, you know, I respect you. First, I'm gonna say I respect you and all. But at the time, though, Justin Bieber was like huge, so I'm not gonna really bash him. I'm not a diehard fan of Justin Bieber. Let's go ahead and continue how they almost died, because I'm glad nothing happened. First off, I want to say that I'm glad they didn't die.
Title. We're gonna be talking about one of those and showing video evidence of that today. This is a story that we have not told anyone.
No.
We haven't even told our families.
No.
So,
Mom, I'm sorry.
With that being said, one thing before we start this video, we do not put any blame on anybody but ourselves. We are the reason why this happened to us, and to be quite honest, we could be dead right now.
Exploring the abandoned is a very dangerous activity. We're lucky that we're even standing here right now.
So yeah, basically what we're trying to say is hopefully you take this video, you see what happened to us, and you realize that it's probably not the smartest thing to go out and explore.
We're dumb. Just remember that. We're the dummies. You guys be smart.
And another thing, this is not what happened in Florida for the whole jail situation. We did not get arrested for the things that we're about to talk about. This is not about the court cases or anything. That, again, we still have to wait for a couple more months before we can talk about it. For now, this is what happened 2 days prior to that.
Okay. The day we almost died. What hell of a title.
Just keep in mind that this was supposed to be a video in itself on Sam and Colby back when we did the explore stuff.
We're gonna be kind of telling the story, but we're also gonna be showing you as much as we can of the actual incident.
So with that being said, let's start from the beginning. What's up guys, it's Sam and Colby.
And welcome to Miami, Florida.
Guys, we literally just got off of our plane flight like
that sucks.
30 minutes ago.
It wasn't a
all excited and
flight. It was
getting
a
threatened.
overnight flight. So we have not slept more than like 3 hours in 24 hours.
So if we look a little rough, that's why.
We just got this random DM and she was like, hey, you can park at this Shell gas station right by the airport, and bam, there's a hospital. Who knew? Now the one thing is they didn't tell us how to get in, and we heard 3 cop sirens because this is right by the airport. So it might suck trying to get in. So again, just recap, this was our very first video in Florida, 8 o'clock in the morning. We had no idea about this. We got the information from a DM, but yeah, this is us actually going into the place.
Run, 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 run.
Private property, sneaking into an abandoned hospital.
There's a huge facility right there that had probably 400 cars in it. So it's like a full working office right next door.
Keep that in mind, guys. We thought this was an office. It wasn't an office. We'll tell you later, but it wasn't an office.
You will see it is surrounded by a ton of huge buildings in the middle of an airport area. So we were not trying to be sneaky about this, I guess, which is our fault. All right.
Ah, gosh.
You got this, man. You got this, man. Jimmy, your way. You're good. You good. Oh.
I'd be so nervous. This is actually getting kind of...
Oh my God, dude, look at that. What? Dude, we might need our mask for this place.
My heart is pounding.
Why?
Probably
because I climb.
Something I suck at climbing, but also it's kind of scary.
So the thing about this place is, obviously not in this room, but as we go higher and higher, there's going to be open windows.
Right.
And, like the entire wall on this side of the building.
Sorry, I'm just like I'm building the anticipation in my head because I know what's about to happen. They're about to get caught and they're about to get yelled at, and it's when you know that from the beginning of the video, it's really intense because you don't know what they could be told. Well, I hate getting in trouble. I'm a good guy. I don't like doing things that are against the law. Even I've said if I ever start doing these videos, which if you guys want to see stuff like that, at some point in the future, support us on Patreon. If we're making good money every month, then we could probably do something like this. But if it's private property and I can't get permission to go on there, forget it. It ain't happening. And there's a lot of reasons why it would never happen. And this situation right here is one of those reasons.
The building is just completely demolished. That means the highway can see us and we're gonna have to like avoid all outside areas. We didn't avoid any outside areas.
Nope, you got caught.
One of the most open abandoned places we've ever been, and we were not prepared.
Yeah.
All right, we found our staircase. There's the outside right there, like you said. All that faces the highway.
We were just talking about this off camera, guys, but again, if it was that easy for us to be able to get in here, like without even trying basically, then most anybody could. So there could be any homeless people in here, like, who knows?
This looks literally like a dressing room.
It's probably where you like go put a gown on and stuff.
That sounded like a whistle.
Yeah.
What was that?
It
might have been a break from
Yeah,
the
we're
car.
so close to the highway that any of that could.
It could have been someone whistling, like before you go into a building, you whistle to make sure someone's not in there. Like, hey, and I can't whistle, but like it's just like, hey, come on, get out. That's what normally it means. So the whistle might be a security guard whistling in there because they saw them go in. And
Okay. Let's find the staircase. I want to get to the top.
Is this it?
Yes.
Hey, oh my
That
God.
looks sick, dude. That's where we are in relation to the highway.
Oh my God.
There's...
We could easily be seen. That's insane, dude. Oh,
That's
Dude.
That's the building. That's the building.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this
Turn
off.
off the light. Alright, come over here. There is a full-fledged office building right there through this window, so show.
Alright, I'm gonna show you guys really quick. But this is a working office building. You can even see cars in the parking lot right now.
What are you
You can
doing?
easily see this.
Yeah.
So again, keep in mind, on our right,
What are you
is that
doing?
building that you saw. On our left was a highway, and then there was nothing basically. It was like around an airport area, and that was it.
Again, over and over and over, you guys hear us. We think it's an office building. Now, if it was an office building, the circumstance
They wouldn't have cared.
that ended up happening probably wouldn't have happened. As you can blatantly see from the footage, it wasn't an office building.
Nope.
Oh, yes.
Oh, dude, this is beautiful. Oh, this is where we're gonna get caught, though.
Ha! Yeah. Jeez, man. How on the nose too. Yeah. Why the face the camera at the building? I mean, you guys are literally asking to get caught. I mean, there's like, it's one thing to sneak into a building and look around and stuff, but then it's another thing to kind of just put yourselves out there, kind of like daredevils, and making it more easy for people to see you. It wasn't a good idea.
This is where things start to get interesting.
Mm-hmm. Here's Miami, the whole view of the city.
Get down. Whoa! The second that you said we shouldn't get caught, and there's police sirens.
Right, like, probably right there, too.
Yeah, and that was only on for like 2 seconds.
Dude, this is why I love exploring. Yes, it's 9 in the morning. I don't care. We just flew here, didn't get any sleep on our flight. Who gives a fuck? I'm just happy to be here, you know?
I was gonna say, dude, we literally landed 45 minutes ago, maybe an hour max, and we've already seen like the whole skyline of Miami. Oh, speaking of,
Whoa!
holy crap.
All right, man, I think we should get up there.
Oh no, what are you doing?
Every single person will be able to see us.
Yes,
do
we can
not
only
have to
stand for
cover.
like 5-10 seconds.
Let's go.
Okay. So when they said they have nobody but the blame but themselves, they were 100% right. You are literally asking to get caught at this point. I almost can't. I have no words. It's on you guys, but I'm glad you didn't get the worst because it could have gotten worse.
Oh, Jesus. We're so seen right here. Montano, then we gotta get out.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
All right, guys, welcome to Florida. Holy crap. That's beautiful.
It wasn't beautiful for very long, was it, Sam?
So at this point was our very first mistake. As you heard us, we knew it was gonna happen. We said probably 10 times throughout this video that if we go to
We're
the
gonna get
top,
caught.
someone is gonna see us because of how populated it is. However, we did it anyway and paid the price for it. Someone did actually see us at the very top, and we'll get into that later.
Wait, come here.
Trying to find another exit as soon as they were probably about to leave too.
What's that?
Turn off. Yeah.
We gotta make a run for it. We gotta make a
Oh, dude. And then trying to make a run for it. Oh, no, that's not good. Like, oh, dude, it's one thing to get caught, but if you get caught, you might as well just give up because, but to run, that's how you get shot if you're running. Yeah.
Guys, we got that on camera. I'm shaking right now.
Leave. What are you doing?
That? Somebody was definitely in there following you.
shit. Someone's here. Go.
Really?
Spots lady, then runs.
There was somebody in the premise. We literally heard something slam as soon as we got to the bottom.
And then you ran.
We saw, or I think you saw a lady like in like a yellow working outfit.
We thought we saw someone in there. We cut it down a lot, but we ran back and forth trying to avoid getting seen for probably about 15 minutes. When we finally thought the coast was clear, obviously we were taking
was
very
not clear.
Carefully, comparatively to everything else. That's when we kind of knew. All right, if someone's downstairs and we were up at the very top getting seen, we're probably gonna get screwed. When we ran across the field, we had entered through a giant opening in the fence. Like we thought we could just walk back out and be fine. However, at that opening in the fence, I saw a lady coming in with like one of those security vests, you know, like the bright orange ones. And that's
Well,
when
it's
we
not
knew-
security. It's
we were screwed.
So that was the entrance we came in. The only other way to go was to that office place where we had to jump over a little fence and then run through the parking lot to safety.
It turned out it was not an office, and this is where everything goes
Fell
wrong.
apart.
We'll just play out what we have so far, and then we'll let you know the full story of what happened when we couldn't film anymore.
All right.
Gonna take this off?
Stop right there.
There's a girl in a yellow security vest walking towards us through the entrance that we took. She's probably following us out right now. We're gonna have to put away from the camera when we hop the fence, but we'll tell you everything in a second.
Like I just said at the end of the scene, I was gonna pull out my phone and record, and for some reason, we're trying to upload this onto our Premiere editing software, and it's not working, so I'm gonna have to show you it on my phone right here. This was literally 5 seconds after I stopped recording on the camera.
All right, guys, so I'm on my phone now. There's literally a lady following us right now, but I think we'll be fine, especially if we go right here. You want to just run for it?
Nah, dude.
Let's go.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, stop right there. Dude, yeah. I don't know if we'll have to continue. We'll have to continue it, okay? And where our traumatic story
Starting the
begins.
story for legal purposes, for YouTube purposes, and for our safety, we're gonna reference that thing that police officers carry on their hip as a weapon. We're not going to specify what type of weapon, but you guys get the point.
So from that iPhone video, you guys were able to see that we went up to a fence that had this guard post, right? So whenever you go into a parking garage and there's one of those bars that lower and then you have to click it for a ticket and then it raises. It was like one of those and it had a guard post right next to it. We saw a car sitting there, so we just decided as soon as he was gonna press the button, we'll just run right through and then we'll be free. I don't know if you guys could hear this, but there was literally somebody that said, "Hey!"
Yeah.
And it said, "Get out of the," or started to say something and then immediately it cut. My initial reaction
Stop what you're doing,
I'm not
is
gonna
what he
film
said.
this. There's this police officer screaming at me, so I went boom.
Like you said, it was a police officer.
Good thinking.
Full on sprinting with a bulletproof vest on, a whole get up, and he was pointing a weapon straight at our chests. At this point, we had no idea what we did wrong. We were under the impression that we were just walking out of an office building. What's going on? He kept screaming, "Put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up." We immediately said, "Yes, sir." We do not understand what's going on. At first, I even thought it was a joke. I literally thought someone was pranking us. We quickly realized it was a serious situation when this guy came straight up to us, probably about 10-15 feet away, pointing straight at us.
This dude was screaming at us, saying, "Freeze, freeze, freeze, stop what you're doing," while we were just
There, yeah.
standing there, not moving at all.
That's what he
Just being
said.
Whoa, 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 what's going on?
At this point, we were frozen. We were not going to go anywhere. He understood
No.
that, so he yelled into his walkie-talkie for backup. Within about 15 seconds, 2 other cop cars swarmed us, pulling out weapons, pointing at our chest as well. Now this main guy who called in was 15 feet away. These guys, individual officers, came straight up to us, probably 3 feet away. As far as this camera is from us, there was a weapon pointed at our face. This was the very first time I had ever seen a weapon pointed at me in general. I don't even know if I've seen a
Piss your
weapon
pants
out
scary,
that
isn't it?
often.
And in this moment, all time seemed slowed down, and we were on game mode of, wow, our lives are in danger right now, and we need to follow every single direction, or else we could die.
Okay. Okay. This has escalated by far. I was thinking they were going to get yelled at and stuff, saying stay off the property, it's private property and whatnot. But no, this actually sounds like they were literally...
The reason why we thought that is because these guys were aggressive. Our main guy was obviously screaming at us, but these 2 guys, they had no idea where we had just got caught. All they knew were these 2 random 22-year-old kids who were running out of this office building, and we had backpacks and Explorer merch on and stuff like that. They were pissed. Get the f down, you are so we got you. You guys are done. You guys are absolutely f***ed. So we believed that immediately.
Wow.
And we were like, why? What are you doing at the school? Wait, what school? What school? We were at the abandoned hospital.
Oh, shit! No wonder. Yeah. They're going to protect those kids. Let me tell you that right now. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Do your research better. Oh, dude, that would have been bad. Oh, thank God you guys didn't have no, like, pocket knives or anything like that on you, or... Oh, okay. Yeah. The second he said, "What are you doing at the school?" It's like, oh, fuck.
Hospital. We had no idea, but that place that we were actually going through to get outside was an elementary school.
That tall building was an elementary school, and of course we didn't have, we had no idea.
I've never seen an elementary
No,
school with more
I didn't
than
either.
one level. It's always
I was thinking it was
I don't know if
security,
you
a
guys have
security
this
place,
where
but
you lived, but we did these things called code reds, which means that if there was a stranger in an elementary school or a school,
I've been through
there would be
several.
a code red, and
Yep.
literally the entire school gets locked down, and everybody hides in corners of their room and stuff because
That's
there's a
what
stranger
happened.
on
That's
the
what
property.
happened. Oh my
So
gosh.
basically, there's us, two 22-year-old kids running with a backpack in a school. Of course, it's a very serious situation.
So they called Code Red, which immediately called another 3 to 6 cops, swarming us again. The school cops came out. All the people on the parking lot left. We were sitting there.
oh my gosh, no way.
Probably 5 weapons pointed at us. They were all screaming, "What are we doing here?" We were trying to explain, but we couldn't.
They wouldn't even let us explain. We would try to just talk, and then they would just be like, "What are you doing? Ah, what are you, ah," just screaming. We were just like, "What? Whoa, chill, chill, chill. We're not doing anything." Hands up and everything. Very, very.
They could have handled that better.
We
Yeah.
could completely
Yeah,
understand
I agree.
why they were doing that, because it looked really, really bad. However,
But you gotta let them speak. I mean, it could have been resolved really fast and very, but I understand. I mean, at the time, I'm not sure when this video came out, but I'm pretty sure this was around the time where there was a lot of school shootings happening. People were on edge. No one was taking that shit seriously at all. Everybody was taking that shit very seriously. So if something like this were to have happened at a local school, especially a public school like this one, very understandable why they're being aggressive. They're yelling at them like, "What are you guys doing?" It just didn't look good. No. It's not a good situation to be in. They had every right to be as aggressive as they wanted to be, because let's face it, they might have kids at that school themselves, and there's these kids coming up, and yeah, the backpacks, yeah, bad.
It went down, freaked us out. It was almost traumatizing, because if you can imagine,
I bet.
us two, there's 3 or 4 police officers on a perimeter pointing weapons at us, then there's 2 individual coming straight at us, turning us around, throwing us up against a fence. They were being aggressive, screaming in your ear this close, "You are fucked, you are fucked, you're going to jail." And we really believed that.
Guys, I kid you not, I looked over at Sam during all this chaos, and I see this guy take his head and literally shove it against the fence and just start screaming. And we're just like, "Chill, chill, we're not doing anything wrong, we promise." And they just wouldn't believe us. They just kept yelling.
So immediately we were handcuffed.
You see, yeah, okay, this is not a good... Yelling chill does not make them more chill. It annoys the hell out of people. Trust me. Don't say chill, chill, chill. It's just annoying. It's just annoying. Don't do it. Just say, "Hey, listen to me really quick. Let me say what I need to say before you start throwing me against walls. I have, there was a reason why I was here. I did not know it was a school." And I'm sure they did say stuff like that, but saying chill it never helps. It never helps.
They took my backpack, they took all of our phones, they threw us on the ground, and they kept pointing their weapons at us and called in more backup. Guys, this was a huge deal. I don't know how many, because we were faced towards the fence on the ground. We were told to look at the ground, but we could tell there was cars on cars on cars. The police actually shut down the road next to us. It was insane.
So while they're yelling and everybody still has their weapons pointed at us and everything, they put us in handcuffs, very tight by the way. Probably still have bruises from it, just kidding. But it was bad. Weren't nice to us at all, didn't let us talk, had us against the fence the entire time, then shoved us onto the ground to where we were sitting crisscross towards the fence.
They took our IDs, they called the Miami Police Department, which we didn't clarify this, but the police that were on guard of this elementary school were actually working underneath the school department. So they were not technically real police officers, they were the school police officers. So they had to go and call the Miami department to come down here.
Really? They weren't even real police officers, and they're grabbing you and saying well, obviously they're not real police officers, because most of the time real police officers don't get in your face and say, "You are so fucked, motherfucker," and shit like that. They never do that. Never. There might have been some occasions where they've done that, but most of the time it's just simply, "You are under arrest," and they read you your your rights, and that's your Miranda rights, and they pretty much just let it. That's how they do it. But they don't sit there and cuss you out and stuff. They don't say, you know, get the fuck on the ground, motherfucker, and stuff like that. No, that obviously is not how a real police officer would act in that situation. To be like, get on the ground, hands behind your back. That's normally how they approach this stuff, and then they read you your rights. So I had to say, oh, something was off. It's like, if that's how Florida police like seriously are, then they need some serious help, because yeah, that's not necessarily the way you handle it. There was no guarantee or proof that these guys were even what they thought they were. They wouldn't even let him talk, which is an issue. You should let them talk. Obviously, they're in trouble, but they're not sure why they're in trouble, which is something they need to understand, because, you know, every person doesn't need to be thrown up against a wall. Nobody needs to be thrown up against a wall, yelled in their face, not able to talk and everything. That situation was bad, yeah.
On their way, it took 30 minutes of us unable to talk to each other, unable to look at each other, sitting opposite, face down, handcuffed, and we thought it was the end. We were like, oh God, we're going to jail, we're getting arrested, we're getting fined something.
100%. This was the scariest part, guys, because during all the chaos, our adrenaline was pumping. We were just like, oh, what do we need to do? And we were on that slow motion, like, let's figure this out mode. But as soon as we got time to sit down and they kept saying, you guys are f***ed, you guys are going to jail, like, ha, we caught you. They were laughing in our faces, basically.
Making fun of us.
That's
was
terrible.
When we had the time to where I was like, shoot, I'm about to go to jail. I'm gonna have to call my mom and tell
let her know that
I'm gonna be locked up. That's one of the worst thoughts I've ever had in my life. Not even kidding.
And if you can imagine right now, 2 kids growing up from Kansas, like, we have never experienced anything like this at all. We had just looked down the barrel of 5 weapons pointed at our face from 10 feet away. And now we're getting thrown up against fences, thrown on the ground, telling us that we are getting f***ed.
Yeah.
This was just a traumatizing point in our lives. And after about 30 minutes, the Miami police
finally showed up.
Finally showed up.
I
And
wonder-
this is where things kind of take a turn, because we finally had a chance to talk.
Basically, the sheriff comes out
Good,
of the car,
good.
asks all the school officers what the situation was, and they try to explain it, even though they didn't let us explain what happened. He comes up to us,
That's fine.
asks us what happens. We're very polite, very respectful, and tell him just everything. We say, you know, we're 2 kids. We were filming a video in this abandoned hospital.
From LA, we're YouTubers.
Yeah, we're not even from here. We literally just landed like an hour ago or so. Decided this was the easiest way to get out of the hospital and to just go through this fence, and then that was it. We were gonna be on our way out.
We had no idea that it was an elementary school. We even said, like, up until this point, we had thought it was an
Search our
office building,
backpacks,
so
man.
We're so sorry.
He searched our bags. He saw that we had cameras. He saw that we had masks and stuff like that, and flashlights. So obviously our story like made sense.
And our record was clean. We had never done anything. This, again, like we said, this was 2 days before the actual other arrest happened that we cannot talk about.
How ironic is that?
Super ironic. However, so this guy picked us up, basically said, I know what you guys are doing. I did the same thing when I was a kid, but this building over here
sounds like the guy was really cool about it. That's cool. They needed that. I'm gonna tell you right. They needed him to come in there. They're fucking savior at that point.
could fall over at any point. You guys could die. And also, do you guys realize that my men, pointing out to the guys that were carrying the weapons, could have fired on you and they would be in the right? They would have all right and jurisdiction to
So they got off pretty
to
easy.
kill
Yeah.
us, and we would be dead, and we would have no one to blame but ourselves.
Right.
And at that moment, I was like, wow, we actually could have died.
Easily. I wish you guys could somehow see, obviously we didn't record it, but I wish you could see how
They treated you guys.
aggressive and unnecessarily mean they were being, because then you would have 100% believed that, yeah, we were gonna die. And that's why we kept this off of social media for so long, was because we had to like take time to like heal from that traumatic experience. Like I remember,
I still think about it, dude.
me too. And that night when we got to the hotel, like it just ruined our entire mood for the rest of the day. And we just, oh man.
We say this was crazy experience, traumatic, and unnecessarily.
You'll laugh about it later on, though.
We
I mean, that's
can't
a memory
blame
you're gonna look
anybody
back
but
on.
Ourselves. Like, we put ourselves in this situation. Obviously, the police were just doing their job. So again, absolutely no hate to the Miami Police Department. They were just doing their work. Obviously, like telling us that we're gonna get f***ed and laughing at us was not a great image.
Which was the school officers, not
Which was the school office, yeah, not the actual Miami people. Everyone from the Miami team was super nice. So going back to the story,
That's good.
The sheriff, after
That's
he
good.
told us that, said, all right, these guys have basically been traumatized enough. They basically looked death in the eye today. I think we should just let them go.
After we walked away, I was
Nice,
shaking.
nice. I
shaking
like
for a
that
good
guy.
hour.
Sounds cool.
It was nuts.
Obviously, as you see us, we have done videos. Since then, we're okay. We're not dead, obviously, but we could have been. It was just a traumatic experience that we waited a long time to tell you guys because we wanted to kind of frame it a different way than the way we experienced. We filmed this video.
I gotta say, thank God those guys came in there and handled that situation a lot more professionally. The school officers obviously were not professional, and they were shit. And they were abusing their powers and saying whatever they wanted to say to them. But at the end of the day, it is on them. Sam and Colby knew better. They knew that they were not allowed to get spotted on this at this building that was obviously a private property, or they wouldn't have been so sketchy and so hidden or trying to hide, or they wouldn't do what they were doing. And they were being kind of dumb when they were showing themselves on top of the roof and stuff. That is sketchy. And that is why every time when they try to make fun of somebody for being a local around there, like they're kind of creepy and stuff, it's like, you guys realize what you do is some of the sketchiest shit to any local in that area. When they see you guys, not locals, not from around here, just walking into these buildings with backpacks and stuff, you look sketchy. And to be on a school property, yes, they were in the right to have shot you if they believed that you could have been holding a bomb in that backpack. Now, most of the time they don't want to, because if they shoot the bomb, it's just going to go off, and that could cause a lot of death. So that's not necessarily the one thing they're going to want to do. But if they had felt they had the shot to do it safely, they could have done it. It's just one of those situations where you should be thankful that those psychotic asshole school officers just were not the extra level of psycho and just went ahead and shot you. So be thankful, yeah, that didn't happen. And that's cool that he said, I think these guys have been traumatized enough. Let's let them get out of here. They've had enough, but never do this again, which I respect.
The night of actually it happening, but we realized that there's a much better way to come about this, and we could have avoided the whole situation if we didn't go to this abandoned building. So we kind of want to let you guys know this is dangerous. Things could happen to us or could have in the past. You guys might have never seen us again after that because of our mistake.
You never know. That's why we really wanted to take this week, especially just to think about everything and reflect, because I just feel like ever since Sam and Colby 2.0 has started, it's kind of just been like a...
Okay, I think this is just them being sentimental now. I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there, though. Sorry, not to piss anybody off. Okay, so yeah, they were definitely in the fault, in the wrong here. I'm glad they took responsibility for that. I'm not saying they didn't. Absolutely, they are aware that what they did was 100% wrong. They should not have been doing that. And I agree. I agree with that. Now, those officers should not have been treating them such like shit. That's not the way to handle it. And I'm glad that the real police officers, who obviously are the real police officers, came in and just said, so what are you guys doing in there? And they asked the questions, let them answer, and then they're like, okay, let's search your bag. And then they find cameras. It's like, okay, it looks like you guys are telling the truth. You guys can go on with your day. But just know, these guys could have taken that shot, and you guys would not have been going home tomorrow or tonight. So I like, that is how an officer should be. They learned a lesson, which is good. You don't want to just do this and not get a lesson out of it. I'd rather just get a harsh lesson than be dead, which is the point. And yeah, I'm glad they're not dead. I'm glad that they learned from the experience. That's all that matters to me. And this is a crazy story. I gotta say. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts, guys. If you guys want to take part in the next poll, become a patron. It means a lot, and it does help the channel out. I'm hoping to do stuff like this one day, not on private property, so I don't get shot one day, but you guys know what I mean. And to me, it's just common sense. You don't go on private properties without permission. Just get permission. If you find a way to get the people's permission. There's ways to get, information. So until next time, guys, keep it retro, and please do take care. Holy shit, Michael. We made it to We Slaughtered Barbecue. The epitome and the purpose of our trip is to make it to this area.
Oh yes. Food and cattle.
Yep. I just noticed, is that a cemetery way over there, or are those cattle?
No, I think that is a small cemetery.
Holy shit, that's kind of cool and creepy. That thing is massive, but there's not just that one. There are spiders literally
There's
everywhere.
one there. There's one there. There's one over there. And then there's this one here.
dude, they're everywhere on the
They're all
properties.
huge. Oh,
Cool.
there's one there.